Growing up, the Brady Bunch really wasn't my show. If you asked me what was way back then, I probably would have said Star Trek, Batman, or depending on the day, maybe even Gilligan's Island. But my sister Valerie, she loved the Brady Bunch, and because she did, so did I. So on many an afternoon, once our homework was done, you could find the two of us on the couch, lost in that sunny, perfect world, sharing laughs and learning life lessons from Mike, Carol, and sometimes the kids. For so many of us, Mike Brady felt like the ideal TV dad, calm, wise, and always ready to reinforce a life lesson with a kind and gentle smile. But looking back, there's this little detail that is super easy to miss unless you were really paying attention, that tells a much bigger story about the man who played Mike Brady, Robert Reed. And once I share it with you, I believe it just might change the way you see not just Mike Brady, but Robert himself. So here goes. Everyone on the show, from Carol to Alice to the kids, always called the youngest son Bobby. Yet, if you listen closely, Robert, as Mike, more often than not, particularly when he was speaking directly to him, called him Bob. Just Bob. For me, and maybe for you too after watching this video, this little verbal tweak on Robert's part provides a peek behind the scenes into Robert's interesting way of playing his famous part. In fact, Christopher Knight and Barry Williams on their Great Brady Bros podcast were asked about this very thing, and they confirmed that even though the scripts were always written as Bobby, Robert Reed's choice to call him Bob was entirely his own. It truly was a purposeful decision on Robert's part. But why? Well, let me provide some context. You know how some actors just become their roles? Robert Reed definitely was Mike Brady, but he was so much more. Before he moved into that modern split-level house, Robert was a strong dramatic actor. He had serious skills, trained at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London, and he was in respected television dramas like The Defenders, earning a name as a professional who took his acting very seriously. So when he got the job on the Brady Bunch, over Gene Hackman, if you can believe that, you can imagine the inner struggle. This wasn't the intense drama he was used to. While television viewers loved the show for its gentle humor and its family values, Robert often found the scripts a bit too sweet, lacking the depth he craved. He often argued with Sherwood Schwartz and the writing team, not because he was a grump, but rather because he was deeply committed to making any show that he was on, even the Brady Bunch, feel as real as possible. So let's really think about this Bob detail. To me, it says a lot about the respect that he had for the child actors on the program. By calling Bobby Bob, Robert was, in his own way, acknowledging the character's journey. Bobby wasn't just a perpetually cute kid. He was a young person growing up, moving towards being a young man. And while Robert was known for his professional frustrations on set, he was also very protective and truly supportive of all of the other actors on the show. Over the years, the actors playing the Brady kids have all said that they considered him to be something of a father figure to them. Robert's choice to call Bobby Bob fits perfectly with this idea of a man who, despite his disagreements with the material, deeply cared for the people that he worked with. And as we think about Robert's life, knowing what we now know about his struggles as a gay man in Hollywood, maybe for someone who lived with his unspoken realities, finding small ways to add honesty to ever so subtly reshape his world, well, it was a deeply personal act. That seemingly minor change, Bobby to Bob, could have been his way of showing a deeper truth in a world that often demanded things be kept on the surface. It's interesting how a show that felt so simple can show such depth years later on. Robert Reed will always be Mike Brady, the architect dad with a fatherly voice and a calm way about him. But when we remember him, we should probably also remember the little things that he did that yielded big results, like the way he changed Bobby to Bob. So what do you think? Did you ever notice that Mike, more often than not, called his younger son Bob instead of Bobby? Even now, when I catch an old episode, I listen for it, and it always makes me smile. And now for something only semi-related.
The Lost Brady.
You know about Phoebe? Wow, after all this time, I thought it would never get out.
Well, I guess now it can be told. After we filmed all 5 seasons of the Brady Bunch series and the show is going into syndications, the producers decided to edit out Phoebe. Oh, poor Phoebe. Well, the truth is she never really fit in.
3 of them with hair of gold and red-haired Phoebe, who often picked her nose.
Then there was the amateur contest episode when we were the silver platters. And Phoebe, naturally, refused to be part of the act.
The first prize is $100. $100? But before we can get on the show, we have to audition our act.
What act?
Well, we can sing a little and we can dance a little. And Bobby and Cindy can be cute and charming.
Cute and charming? Black, forget you losers. I'm doing my own act. And keeping the 100.
You ding-a-ling. We got about as much chance of getting on that show and winning first prize and getting the money as we do of robbing a bank.
Hey, Greg, now you're talking.
Forget it.
Who's with you?
I think that after Phoebe Brady was edited out of the show, it made a lot more sense.
For more incredible footage of The Lost Brady, watch the Brady Bunch Marathon all week on Nick at Night.
You are special.
You didn't have to do it, but you did. So thank you very much for your support, for your support, for your support. Thank you very much for your support. Click on that thumbnail, cause it's time to go. Dave's got the classics, let the memories flow. TV shows and movies that we all hold so dear. On his YouTube channel, he's keeping memories near. Dave Sundstrom, bringing back the good stuff, oh yeah.